had the radio. Oh, shoulder man, worse than you would ever know.
7:22 on a Tuesday morning. Texas Motor Speedway just unveiled plans for the world's largest high-definition video screen. Eddie Gossage is here bearing gifts.
Absolutely.
As you always do.
When you know you got the biggest video screen in the world, you got to have your popcorn and dots and caramel and Sour Patch Kids and, of course, the world's biggest TV remote here, so you can operate Big Hoss.
This is, and Big Hoss, is, as you said, is just one of those names that kind of made sense because of being in the state of Texas. Yeah, it is 80%. If you look at square footage, 80% bigger than the one at Jerry World.
Let me be accurate. It's 79% bigger than the one at Cowboy Stadium.
But that is an enormous venue that you've got there, and when you look at it, you know it's right. The size works at Texas Motor Speedway,
and that's what you're trying to do. The screen the Cowboys have is spectacular, and it's right sized, and maybe you can argue a little oversized for that venue, but it's just perfect for them. But it wouldn't be big enough for our venue because you can fit 4.5 Cowboy stadiums in our infield. So
you have been when you are at Cowboy Stadium or AT&T Stadium. It's so funny because people have paid perfectly good money to go and watch a football game, and they're basically watching TV. Do you fear that at TMS?
To some degree, and I can tell you our track in Charlotte, North Carolina has one that's almost as big as this one will be. And Matt Kenseth, the race car driver, was telling me he comes off of turn 2 and kind of dips down low so he can watch the big screen as he races down the back
See himself go by.
At 195 miles an hour.
Yeah, that should give you some comfort when you're next time you're out on the roads. This, I would imagine, will be used for advertising purposes as well. We saw the animation there, and you could see the leader go by, and you see the status, the same kind of information you get if you were watching the broadcast on TV.
Exactly. You're going to see a lot of the very same broadcast that, for instance, Fox does for our April race. But there'll be local sponsors. When I say local sponsors local to our racetrack, with the running order across the top, or a surface clean caution, or all those kind of things you name after various sponsors. So we've already sold one of the 4 big packages that we have for the big screen. I know our salespeople had a lot of sponsors with them last night at the unveil, and so we're gonna use it in a lot of different ways. But it's so big,
and it's a lot of information because you've been to many races, but it can almost be confusing trying to keep a track of your car, your guy who's driving by at 200 miles an hour.
And that's what's so cool about this, is it's going to help our fans kind of keep up with what's going on, understand some of the strategies. And if you get a scanner that you can get from one of the vendors, you can listen into the conversations, you can listen to the TV broadcast, that kind of thing. So
I'm also picturing maybe movie night out there for maybe 100,000 people. Would you do special events and that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. Again, the track in Charlotte held the world premiere for the movie Cars a few years ago.
Perfect.
So we'll do some drive-in movie nights, and when our campers are there for the races, we'll show movies up on the big screen and have some fun with it. But our corporate clients, we're using the track 300 days a year. They're going to use that big screen a lot when they've got 1,000 people in there for a ride and drive, where Chevy brings all the dealers in from all over the country to learn about the new 2014 Tahoe or something, and they'll use the big screen to drive that message home.
All right. Also, a change in Final Four weekend, which you guys are going to be racing as well, and so as to not compete, you're going to be sandwiching the races around the Final Four games that are going to be going on at Jerry World, and the next big race, AAA Texas 500 triple header weekend, November 1, 2, and 3. Right?
Right around the corner.
All right. Thanks a bunch. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.